So now y'all come into my kitchen. This is Cooking Today. Hi, welcome to Cooking Today. Glad you're here. Happy Wednesday. Today I'm making a delicious homemade sausage and mushroom manicotti. Doesn't that sound so good? Y'all, this is comfort food. And you know what's so good about this recipe? Like all of my recipes, a little bit of elbow grease, some chopping, a little bit of mincing, some measuring, not much, and a few shortcuts. It makes this such a breeze. You can make it for a weeknight easily. And the other awesome thing about this recipe, it makes 2 pans. I know, isn't that awesome? So all at once, you can make a pan for your family and a pan for your neighbor. You can make a pan for your school teachers during Teacher Appreciation Week when you got to take something to the classroom, to the lounge. You know how that is. We've done that for years. And then keep one at home and freeze it. I mean, there's so many great choices on this one. As a matter of fact, I have made this for a neighbor who had a heart attack. I have made this for someone who had hip replacement surgery that went wrong. It's just a really great dish that you can travel, and it's comforting and cheesy and delicious. So many things to love. Okie doke. Now let me tell you, what we've got started is a 1/2 pound of breakfast sausage. You know, a pound comes in the tube of breakfast sausage, and it's marked. I just cut that in half. I refrigerate the other half, and we're cooking this half. Now let's talk about sausage. My family does not love regular Italian sausage. You know, regular Italian sausage is what you get like at a pizza place, and they say, do you want regular Italian sausage or do you want pork sausage? We always get pork sausage. It's a little bit less seasoned, not quite so much of an herby flavor, and it can kind of break down a little bit smaller. You know, Italian sausage is generally a little bit chunkier, just bigger, meatier bites. We prefer more of a pork sausage, like a ground pork sausage. So that's why I'm using a breakfast sausage rather than Italian sausage. But I will tell you, you can equally use like Italian sausage. You can get them at your grocery store over in the meat section. They come in links. Those are in little casings that you can just take your knife and go right down through the middle, peel that casing open and pull all of that sausage right out, and then just kind of break it up on the stove just like you would this. That's how you use Italian sausage if you don't want to cook it in those big links. But for us, we are doing breakfast sausage because it's so easy and it gets to be a little bit smaller. So I've got this kind of breaking up. I'm going to give it a little swirl of olive oil just to kind of get us going. And then I actually have made this for my husband, and I've never told him this. And so he said, I don't like the herbs. I actually asked him, what do you not like about Italian sausage? And he said, I don't like the herbs. And I said, oh, okay, well, I won't make it with Italian sausage. But I put herbs in. I put herbs in the pork sausage. He didn't know, and he didn't say a word, and he said he liked it. So now I'll say, I am putting fresh herbs in there, which are not very strong. You know, ground herbs are actually a little bit stronger. So I'm doing some fresh oregano, some fresh thyme, and that's all. And I'm not doing a whole bunch of it. I'm just doing a couple of tablespoons. You can get the recipe on our Facebook page and our website. But I am herbing it up just a little bit. Just a little bit. Sorry, honey. I hope you're not watching today. But it's good. He didn't fuss. So I'm just going over this really well with my knife to get them really nice and small. And then what I'm going to do is just before my sausage finishes, you know, getting all the pink out, I'm going to throw this in and kind of stir it around in my sausage. So it's almost like we're meeting in the middle. We're not going 100% Italian sausage that's loaded with herbs and seasonings. And we're not going to go 100% regular old breakfast sausage. We're going to kind of meet in the middle. Isn't that kind of nice? Okay, so I'm going to keep my eyes on that. Okay, so here's my little bit we're going to put in just in a minute. Then, right before that pink finishes getting the pink out, we're going to add those in and stir them. Then we're just going to take that skillet and dump our sausage out on a sheet pan, scoot it over to the side of that sheet pan so that it can just kind of cool off. And that little tiny bit of that grease and that oil that's in the bottom of our pan that we've been using, we're going to saute our mushrooms. This, you get the little container, like the small square container of mushrooms. We're just doing about a half of that. So you can usually get them whole or sliced. I like to get them whole and then go ahead and give them a little rough chop. And I've already kind of started on these, but I'm just going to go over them a little bit more while my sausage is finishing. And then we're going to get these sauteing when we come back. Come back and see us. This is a good one. Cooking today. Hi, welcome back. We are making a really delicious sausage and mushroom manicotti. And I know manicotti sounds hard, like you might not be able to do it, but that's my shortcut. I can't wait to show you. I'm super excited about this. We have a half of a pound of pork breakfast sausage that we are sauteing on the stove until it gets all the pink out, nice and crumbly. And to give it just a little bit of a nod to Italian sausage, we're throwing in some chopped fresh oregano and rosemary, thyme, not rosemary, and we're just going to stir it in right here at the very end. We don't want those to cook down too long. We just want them to get a little bit warm. So we're just throwing that in. Isn't that so pretty? And also, because we love heat here around our house, and again, a little nod to kind of a spicier Italian sausage, I am doing a pinch of red pepper flakes in with our sausage. Now I'll tell you, I'm using regular breakfast sausage, ground breakfast sausage. There is hot breakfast sausage that has red pepper in it. If you want to skip the step of throwing the red pepper flakes in there, then get the hot. If you get the hot, I would not add the red pepper flakes to it because that might be a little bit much. So somehow in there you need a little heat, whether you buy the hot sausage or you throw in the red pepper flakes. But it is a delicious bite. Okay, so we're just kind of stirring that in. The sausage is cooked. And then I'm just going to put it right over here on this pan over to the side because I want to make room. We're going to do our mushrooms in the same pan. Isn't that easy? So, chopped mushrooms going in the pan over kind of medium-low heat, kind of what I did the sausage on. And these just have a really good little rough chop on them. Okay. And that's it. I'm going to listen for those and give them a little stir as well. And then they'll start to kind of release their own little like natural liquids as they start to cook down a little bit. So you don't have to feel like you have to add a lot of butter or water or anything to them. I will say I'm going to give them a little salt because salt will kind of help them release a little bit of their natural juices. So mushrooms. Mushrooms are going in, and we're going to let them cook down, and you want those to cook down until they're really nice. They get a pretty brown color, and you can really see them get tender and soft, and you really can start to smell them. They smell earthy and mushroomy and good. We really love mushrooms. My husband could, as a matter of fact, he said, you could totally crank up the mushrooms in this recipe. He would probably skip the whole sausage altogether and just do mushrooms, which you could certainly do. You could also, in this recipe, stir in some spinach, fresh spinach, into your filling. It's kind of up to you, really. But this one's awful good, just like this. Okay, so I have 2 cloves of garlic that I'm giving just a little chop on here while my mushrooms are sauteing. And you know, you don't want to put in your garlic with your onions or your mushrooms or anything like that, because it cooks so fast that they don't need to cook the same amount of time as your mushrooms. So we're going to let our mushrooms cook down a little bit. And then like at the very last minute, like literally a minute, we're going to add in our chopped garlic and just give it a little stir for a second. We're going to let that hang out right there, and I'm going to stir our mushrooms. Okay. And I'm using all my same utensils. That's what's kind of nice about this. There are not very many pans, which is lovely when you have worked a long day and you just don't feel like making them, you know, having a million pans going and cleaning them for sure. Yeah, these are starting to get a little color and they're starting to release a little bit of their natural liquids. Gosh, they smell so good. So we're going to let those keep going. Now, these are some of my favorite shortcuts. Are you ready for this? Remember I said a little elbow grease? We've been doing the elbow grease right here, the shortcuts. Ready? Store-bought red sauce. Now, I'll tell you, this meal is so good. It tastes so restaurant quality at home. You're going to be so tickled with it. I believe in splurging a little bit on your store-bought red sauce. If you're not going to make it yourself, which we made our own red sauce, as a matter of fact, with Molly Mullis from Oven and Tap, when we made meatballs. So we've made a homemade sauce before, but if you're not going to take the time to do it, spend a little extra and get a good marinara. Really, really makes a difference in your dishes. And then my other one is store-bought noodles, like already fresh, tender, pliable, don't have to cook them, pasta noodles. We are going to put all of this together. When we come back, I'm going to give my garlic a stir for just a minute. Then we're going to start making manicotti. This is cooking today. Welcome back. We are making sausage and mushroom manicotti today. A really great little weeknight dinner. You can make one, take one, make one, freeze one, because it makes 2 pans. All of this work for 2 whole pans. Isn't that awesome? So, one of our shortcuts, store-bought sauce. We splurged a little bit to get the really good ones. And then we have these pre-cut egg, like lasagna noodles. They come in a package like this, in the fresh pasta section, and you can get these at your grocery store. And then, watch this. You know, manicotti most of the time, manicotti, are the tubes, and you buy them and you have to kind of parboil them so that they are partly cooked, so they're tender pasta. And then you have to put your filling in a piping bag or a Ziploc bag or something like that, and squeeze it down into the tube without getting it all over yourself, without breaking that tender pasta. We're not doing it that way. I actually learned this method when we took a cooking class in Chicago last year, and it has changed everything for me. It is so much easier, y'all. So more on this in just a minute. We have our seasoned pork sausage that we have browned. We have our mushrooms and garlic that we stirred together. It smells fantastic. Oh my goodness, we've wafted it and enjoyed all of that. And so that is just parked right here, waiting, because this is going to go in our filling in just a minute. Lots of flavor. So now for our filling, we have 2 large eggs. And then we're going to do 2 cups, I'm going to eyeball this, 2 cups of whole milk ricotta cheese that you can get at your grocery store. There is something about the whole milk that makes all the difference, y'all. I just don't love the skim. I just think it's got a different texture and flavor. And so really, if you can stand it, get the whole. It's delicious, okay? And then let's whisk this together just a little bit to break up our eggs and mix it in with our ricotta. Then we've got our mozzarella cheese, good shredded, soft mozzarella. Now you know I bang the drum of shred your own cheese. Mozzarella is such a soft cheese that it is really hard to shred on your own. So really, y'all, it's okay to buy this one pre-shredded. You heard it here. So we're gonna mix that in as well, okay? And we're reserving, this is about 3 cups. We're reserving about a cup because we wanna have some left to put on top of our manicotti. That's mixed in. We're gonna do a little salt and a little pepper in here. Not too much, because the mozzarella is actually kind of salty, okay? And of course, our sausage is salty. So, sausage, mushrooms going in. We're gonna get those mixed up really well. And then here's the fun part. Okay, mix, mix, mix. Now, all we're gonna do, I'm doing these in throwaway pans as a matter of fact because we're sharing these tonight. Isn't that fun? Watch this. We have our store-bought sauce. We have our 9x13 pan, okay? And then I have my trusty little scoop that I use all the time on here to help me kind of pre-measure, you know, kind of some of the stuff I'm doing. Store-bought sauce. I'll do about 1/3 of it in the bottom because we don't want it to stick. Spread it all around just to kind of cover the bottom. And then watch this. So easy, I can't wait to show you. Ready? We're gonna take one of our little squares. We had the full sheets and I just cut them in half. One of our squares. My little pre-measured scoop that is so nice. And I'm doing about 2 or 3 of these right down the middle. Those are kind of heaping, so we'll call that one. And we're rolling it. Instead of doing the tubes, look, tuck and roll. Tuck and roll. And then look at there, 1. This is gonna make 10 in this pan, 10 in the other pan. Can you believe? Look at this. 1 scoop, another scoop, kind of right down the center. Roll it, and you kind of roll it like you do a burrito. You know when you go to the Mexican restaurants where they kind of roll their burritos? You kind of pull that filling back toward you and tuck that under. Roll it, seam side down, right there in your pan. And we're gonna fill, fill, fill this pan and our second pan. And then at the end, all we're gonna do is pour our red sauce, the rest of it, on top, sprinkle it with some more cheese, and then bake it. I'll tell you how we finish it up when we come back. It's cooking today. Welcome back. We are just finishing up this beautiful sausage and mushroom manicotti. Easy, easy manicotti with a couple of really good store-bought sauces and those pre-made egg lasagna sheets that made it so easy. We didn't have to pipe filling into like tubes of any kind. We just rolled it like a little burrito, tucked those seam sides under, and sauced them, and that was it. We've baked it covered at 375, oh my goodness, for about 30 minutes. Then we removed the foil and let it continue to bake at 375 for about another 10 minutes or so. Look, isn't it so pretty? And then I love to do a good little fresh grate of parm right on top while it's hot and it kind of melts in with that mozzarella that's on the top. Oh my gosh, I wish y'all could smell it. You gotta try this one, okay? Take pictures of it and tag me on Facebook or show it to me on my Unamaze Instagram so I can see it. Then, just for pretty green, I like to line up my basil leaves right on top of one another. Roll them in a tight little roll, and then give them a little chiffonade in little basil ribbons right on the top. This is delicious. Hot like this, oh my goodness. It's really good reheated. Look at this. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I hope that you will try this sausage and mushroom manicotti at home. You are gonna love every bite. This is Cooking Today.